further out on the left-hand side.
Bobby Cullen, just another outstanding defensive play, and it's hard to just say that the defensive player was the star of the game, but he has to certainly be considered for it. Seems to be injured now as he's holding that left foot. Ball goes out of play, and now they're going to take the time to look at him. You saw him holding his left foot. There is Bob Cullen. Fans getting on him a little bit, but he was a little bit shaken up.
You know, he could either have gotten kicked or he may have had a cramp. This is the time of the ball game where you just might have a cramp in the calf.
St. John's player also is down and injured. We're going to take another look at this play and see if we can see both sides. Did you see it there?
It looks like on a sliding tackle that the St. John's ball player may have caught him as he tripped over him.
Well, the St. John's player is up and okay, and we're waiting on the Chaminade player, Bob Cullen. Joining us up here in picking our star of the game will be Glenn Goldberg, who's been helping us all day long with the stats and keeping us informed on what's going on. Thank you to Glenn, and he'll be helping us pick the star of the game, Brother Gary, and we could use the help.
Oh, I think we can use all the help we can get.
All right, now we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with some more exciting action here at the championship game when we return with more right after this. You're watching the Long Island Sports Network.
Good shot. Want to take great pictures? Remember these two names, Kodak and Genovese Drugstores. Genovese has a tremendous selection of Kodak cameras and other makes too. We've got most every Kodak 35mm film you want and always fresh. And Genovese photo technicians use Kodak paper for a good look. For sharp, bright pictures with Kodak 35mm film and Kodak cameras, come to Genovese Drugstore. It's your photo store and so much more.
You're back at C.J. Donnelly Field, and there's Bobby Cullen massaging that left thigh, and I think what you said was the calf, rather, it was a cramp that caused him to go out of the game. Offside there.
No, it's a dangerous play call. It's an indirect kick for St. John's.
Indirect kick coming up. St. John's has outshot Chaminade 8-7 in this game.
Well, see, Beneri picked the ball up. That's why the referee is going over to speak. Beneri picked the ball up, which was delaying St. John's play. The referee's discussing with them that as soon as the foul is called, put the ball down.
Looks like more of a discussion. Coach Germano is discussing it from the sideline, and there's Tom Buchlas just waiting patiently to see what it's going to be, and it's going to go his way. I think he knew it would all along. Now it's going to be a free kick. Donahue in goal, directing all his players, making sure the wall is set up properly. This could be a very crucial point of the game, Paul.
Yeah, they have St. John's has a free kick specialist. One of their fullbacks, he comes forward and he can really crack a good ball. I saw him against Chaminade in one of their other games, and he beat the goalkeeper twice, but it hit the post. So, as you notice, the Chaminade goalkeeper is off his line. I expect the same type of thing.
I think they were just looking for a reaction on Chaminade's part.
And they got it. A shot that hit the wall is another drive, and it just sails wide of the goal. So St. John's with a good opportunity to score there, Paul, but they just couldn't quite make it work.
Right, there's the Chaminade players had kept them up out of the box, and so when the shot came off, the St. John's team had to be careful not to go offside.
14 minutes remaining in the game. We're 1-0 Chaminade leading St. John the Baptist. Both teams playing for the Catholic High School Soccer Championship. High in the air now. P.J. Maloney looks to win the ball. A shot goes through. It's not much on it, and Donahue has the easy save. Donahue will march the ball out. Now's the time you start to eat up the clock.
That's exactly what Donahue's doing. He's taking his time, putting the ball back into play, but not too quickly.
Bill Ferry with a good ball on the left side, just a little bit too far. It'll roll into touch. Getting another ball in. Here's where the ball boys become so important, and you may laugh at that, but it's true. You got to get those balls back in play because the clock continues to run. Got about 13 minutes to go. There's John Cole. Cole sends it back in the center circle.
Trap.
And Chaminade now playing a little bit of ball control. Good pass to Mueller. Danny Mueller, the midfielder, chasing it down. Mueller fighting for the loose ball tenaciously. A tough play by Ferry there, and St. John's gets the ball back. Now losing it into touch, so Chaminade with a tight marking, Paul, has really kept it going.
Right, they're definitely a high-pressure defensive team. They're not letting St. John's use their skills. As I said, I've watched a lot of games in the Nassau County and Suffolk County leagues, and this is two of the finest teams I've seen play anywhere. St. John's, highly skilled, a lot of one-touch soccer. St. John's, not as skilled, but with very disciplined players, and they play good long balls, and they have the desire to chase them.
Glenn just handed me an interesting stat. Tim Donahue has made only 2 saves, and I would never have guessed that. He seems to be so much more involved in the game than just the saves he's made. Here's a high ball now on the far side of the field. St. John's getting control, and now we've got another foul. It'll go against Mueller and Chaminade.
That was for playing the ball off the ground. In the high school league, you're not allowed to play the ball if you're laying on the ground.
It's been a long season for both teams. They've been training since August. A new coach for Chaminade in his first year. He's brought them to the championship final. For St. John's, an experienced coach that's brought him here before. He didn't expect his team to get here, and he's done such a good job. He says they're a year away. Well, they've got here today. Ferry making a long run, but it was too far for him, and it was taken easily by Jason Cassani. Jason also has been great in goal today. St. John's now. They are using more of the field. They have been playing the ball wide. Now here's a break in the middle, chasing at his pace, but he's marked off by Bill Earhart. Rather, John Earhart, I'm sorry.
John Earhart delivered that ball back to Donahue very nicely to the corner of the penalty area. There was no danger of that ball going into the net inadvertently.
And Coach Buchlas is getting a little bit more excited now. He took off his jacket. I guess he's going to get a little bit more involved in the game, huh, Paul?
Yeah, it looks, Kenny's quite a live wire on the sidelines, and Coach Buchlas now starting to get, with time running out, starting to feel the pressure.
Here's a chance for Chaminade, and a good save by Cassani off the drive of Dan Federico. A left-footed kick and a good save.
Cassani came out and cut down the angle on that. That's what
Super
saved the
play.
goal.
Good play. Now we'll have a corner kick. It'll be Mueller, number 7, wisely moving the flag out of his way. He's a right-footed kicker. Look for the in-swing to either near or far post. No, he goes with a short ball. But his teammate wasn't ready for it. Jacobak couldn't come up in time, and it's taken by St. John's. Ball is loose again. That was number 13, Steven Weisenegger, who tackled the ball away, but it lost it into touch. Mueller throwing it in. Here's Ferry, turning to shoot. Good ball in the box, and it's just wide of the net. The ball taken by number 3, Tom Amirati. And Amirati just couldn't, I think he was a little surprised he got the ball.
Well, St. John's isn't marking closely. And as long as St. John's isn't marking closely, they're going to give Chaminade those shots, and one of them are going to go in.
Paul, do you think that's because of the fact that they know now they've got to get a goal, so they're going to leave that tight marking and try to be more offensive-minded?
I think what's happening, you're right, they're distracted by the fact that they are down by 1 goal, and they're starting to ball watch. Instead of following their men across the box, they're watching the ball, and the Chaminade forwards are sneaking into the open spaces behind them.
Let me ask you this, as a coach, I'm going to get to that question in a second, as the ball is steered back on goal for Donahue. We've got a whistle, and it's an obstruction call against Chaminade. Well, you get a break once, you get it twice, but if you do it again, they're going to get you, and that's what happened. An obstruction call against Chaminade. Here we go, setting up the wall. This could turn around. I was going to ask, is this, as a coach, do you look for a sign of the other team starting to smell defeat?
Well, they're going to have to push forward, St. John's is, but right now, as we see this free kick being taken, Kenny Germana for Chaminade, he's not thinking about a win right now. He's just hoping he can get the ball back in his possession and counterattack again.
They wasted a good opportunity. It'll go to Chaminade. What I'm trying to say is, as you said, down 1-0. You saw St. John's not marking as tightly as they once did. As the coach with the lead, do you sometimes notice this and say to yourself, well, maybe now I can capitalize on this because they are starting to gamble?
Right. What you hope you do with your midfielders and backs is that they sense that the defense of the other team is pushing forward, and you look to hit those through balls behind the defense because they're looking to come forward and they don't want to run back and have to chase after it.
10 minutes to go in the game. Plenty of time, though. We don't want it to sound like it's not. 10 minutes is more than enough time to put a ball in the net and tie this game. What were they saying about no chance of overtime, brother?
Well, at the moment, St. John's is going to have to put one in the net if they want to go into overtime.
That's right. Here's the ball along the touchline. Knocked off Chaminade. It'll be St. John's on the throw-in. They take another 5 steps to get the advantage, but John Cole is there. He crossed it in the middle rather carelessly, but Tim Donahue hustled to get there. That was a careless play.
I don't think he intended to bring the ball out that far. I think he intended to cross it into his goalie in a little bit further. You'll notice that Chaminade now is, well, I won't say actually stalling, but they're playing the game at a slower pace. Even on the indirect kick, you'll notice that they did just what they had to do to throw St. John's off, to make them wait.
Steve Weisenegger battling in the midfield. A whistle again. It'll go to Chaminade as they'll put the ball right there in the center circle. Taking it is McKenna. And you know McKenna got the assist on the first goal of this game and the only goal of the game. Earhart with the right foot in the area. Actually not in the area, it was headed before it got there. And it goes into touch. Goes to St. John's. They've got the ball, they're gonna need it. Down by a goal. The wind now is becoming more and more of a factor as the temperature continues to drop as the afternoon goes on and on. It's getting cold. Here's a pass. Ferry with an open shot and a save by Casani. Can he get to it before it rolls in? He can, and they kick it into touch. That was a good save, Paul.
St. John's is not going to the ball, though.
The goalie from St. John's definitely made 2 or 3 great saves. Not that 2 of them he didn't touch the ball, but he's coming out so nicely and cutting the angle down that he's forcing Chaminade to shoot wide.
And a goal for Chaminade. Danny Mueller. What a play, and that's good. Look at Ken Germano come out on the field, and that could be it for Chaminade. They've got the 2-0 lead. Moments earlier, you saw a concerned Coach Buchlas, but there's the man, Danny Mueller, a man who could probably be the MVP for the whole season, Paul. He's had such a great year, and he culminates it with a goal.
Right, I saw him in...
Here it is again, Paul. Describe what we saw here on this goal. Mueller.
All right, Mueller, he's the type of kid that he takes the half chance. He doesn't have to set it up. It bounced. You saw he took it with his right foot. He's a great player.
And it almost looked like he was going just to tackle the ball away, yet he volleyed it into the net. It's a 2-0 lead for Chaminade. Dan Mueller gets the goal. It'll probably go unassisted, but we'll wait to see officially what they're going to call it. As St. John's now is desperate. They need a goal here. They cannot no longer afford to wait. There's about 8 minutes to go in the game, and they've got to press the action. They've got to take control if they have any hopes at all of gaining the title here today.
You know, Bob, we spoke about not marking tightly, and St. John's just paid for not marking tightly. They let Mueller go to the ball, gave him the room to shoot, and he shot, and he put it away.
This man, Bill Ferry, has been running just totally unmarked in the middle of the field for the last 10-15 minutes here. And now we've got a whistle, and it's a foul against Chaminade, so it'll go to St. John's. But as you said, without the marking, Ferry has been running just totally unmarked.
Well, he plays, Coach Germano's got him playing high pressure. He chases the ball wherever it goes, trying to disrupt the defensive play, and he does a good job of it. And then you got a player like Danny, who just scored there. He takes his chances. It looks like he's not in the game for 10 or 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden he hits a great goal.
The goal by Dan Mueller, unassisted at the 72nd minute mark. 72 minutes the time, so they'll, as we said, now about 7 minutes to go in the game. Looking for a championship. What a thrill it would be for Coach Ken Germano to win his first championship in his first season.
It certainly would be.
And we talked about emotion. It's an emotional time right now. This team, we had a team dinner last night. Kenny talking to his players, and it has come through for him. They have built a system here where they rely on a team concept. There's Frank Crothers. What a year he had as well for St. John's. He is their leader on the field, their captain, and they're going to be looking to him to get a goal. Maybe they'll get it here. There's a ball in the area. Pace fighting for it with Jacobats. Here's a shot, and it goes to the near side.
Still in play.
Crothers chases it down. Crothers with a left foot blocked by John Kroll, and it'll be a corner kick coming up for St. John's. 5 minutes left in the game. Jim Hill will take this corner kick. Paul, what would you want to do on a play like this?
Well, as you see them setting up here, they're looking for a long ball to the far post, and the players are going to be running in, trying to strike it. But nicely cleared out by the Chaminade defense.
Paul, we haven't had a chance to talk much with you about Adelphi, but I know one of your star players was recently drafted in the MISL draft. Jerry Reardon, the second player picked in the nation. You have to be proud of him.
Oh, yeah, Jerry's a tremendous player. He reads the game so well. As you know, he's not a tremendously big physical player, but no one can touch him because he does things with the ball before he gets into those kind of problems.
All right, now back to the action. There's a player out on this field today that's been compared to Jerry, Paul, and that's Dan Mueller. Do you see the comparison?
Yeah, I see Danny as he's the type of player that's definitely going to help a major college team as a midfielder. He's so smart, he reads the game well, his distribution, just a real fine player.
Chaminade will get the ball back. Let me ask you this, does his size shy you away from him?
Well, he, definitely be limited to certain spots on a Division I team, but he's got good acceleration, he's quick with the ball, and like I said, the good player is one who utilizes the ball to his advantage, and he doesn't get himself in predicaments where he's going into these hard tackles or being tackled and getting beaten up by stronger players.
Paul Bernier's shot was blocked, and here's a break for St. John's. If they get the lucky bounce, they would have had a breakaway, but they didn't. It was a handball, and they'll play it again.
You notice Chaminade again. Chaminade stood in front of that ball. St. John's couldn't get the play started.
Chaminade, as you said, Brother Gary, stayed with their game plan throughout, the tight marking. They played their game, and it's been to their advantage, 2-0.
And forced St. John's to play their game.
Here's a long ball on net. It'll sail high and over the crossbar.
That looked like a frustration shot, Paul. What do you think?
Yeah, I think there was really not much discipline on that, and nobody was able to read the ball. He just kind of strode up and hit it. He's got to keep that ball much slower if he wants to do that.
All right, we've got our MVP selection up here in the booth, and it's been decided that Dan Mueller is the MVP of this game. Number 7, Danny Mueller, the MVP. Could have made a case for quite a few of the players.
Oh, I think there was a number of players who could. But Danny, I think, made it with his ball distribution. I know he scored that last goal, but it was his play during the major part of the game that controlled the ball for Chaminade.
So we'll be talking with Danny after the game, and of course we'll have the presentation of I should say, Fred Albinas from Lilko's Office of Engineering, a supervisor of electric planning for Nassau County, will be joining us after the game for the presentation of the Most Valuable Player Trophy to Dan Mueller. And I kind of chuckle a little bit about Danny because I know last night he was so nervous about this game, Brother Gary. He even had a short conference. There were a couple of professional players at the restaurant he was at. He was talking to them. He didn't know what to do to get himself ready for the game, but he certainly did it today on the field.
He was able to overcome any nervousness he had. He certainly did not look nervous out on the field. But, he's an experienced ball player. This is his 3rd year playing varsity ball, and we still have to face him again next year.
Brother Gary, one of the things we really didn't touch on today, and I guess it's an obvious problem, but it's a factor out there, is the fact that these boys are playing on television, many of them for the first time, and that's got to make them kind of nervous.
I would imagine it does, but once you get into the game,
you forget about the cameras.
I think you forget about the cameras.
All right, it's been a wonderful afternoon of soccer here, and I know I've enjoyed it. 1 minute left in the game. Paul Lesueur, thank you for coming up to join us, and we wish Adelphi great luck next year in Division I. I know you had a couple of exciting wins this year, one especially over Hartwick, your arch rival, and we look forward to seeing you come back strong next season.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Good to see you, Paul. Paul Lesueur, the assistant coach at Adelphi University. We thank him for joining us. Freddie Agnosticus from St. John's came in to visit us. We thank him. Of course, again, special thanks to Glenn Goldberg for his help with us here in the booth. And, of course, Brother Gary, it was a pleasure working with you as well.
It was a pleasure to be here. You notice St. John's is still, they're not giving up. As long as there's a second left on a tick on that clock, they're going to be pressing.
And there's a ball headed away. Now Chaminade clearing it away. They're just killing the last minute. Here's Ferry on a break. He's really running out of gas, the poor guy. He's pushing it ahead. Bennett comes back. Bennett gets back to tackle the ball away and save that breakaway. Now a collision. We may have a little skirmish breaking out here with Bill Ferry and a goalkeeper, Jason Cassani, but it doesn't matter. You're looking at it. The championship has been won by Chaminade, their first one in many a year, and their first-year rookie coach, Ken Germano, is going to get the ride on the shoulders.
Certainly a lot of credit has to go to Ken for inspiring his ball team to come through. They certainly finished like champions.
A great victory for Chaminade, a 2-0 shutout. There's Ken Germano getting the ride around the field, and that's something he waited for a long time. The scoring again. The one goal came 3-minute mark of this game. Early on, it was John Cole from McKenna. 3 minutes, 1-0 Chaminade. It was a close game the rest of the way. Both teams played very, very well. St. John's tried to had to let up their tight marking just a little to try to get that goal, and then it was Danny Mueller poking a ball into the net off a tackle in the area, making it 2-0. It was unassisted at the 72nd minute mark. There you see a disheartened St. John's team, but they will march out to shake hands. We'll come back with some final stats and the presentation of the MVP trophy when we return with more. You're watching this on the Long Island Sports Network.
The important questions, man's process of education through the ages. At St. John's, this process continues today in an atmosphere designed for people interested in a university education. St. John's offers students innovative and relevant programs in the arts and sciences, business, education and human services, pharmacy and allied health professions, career-oriented programs, and the law. At St. John's, you'll learn not only how to ask the important questions, but how to get the right answers.
When it comes to electricity, safety is the name of the game. Power lines and cables are not playthings, and this kind of prank can have fatal consequences. Crucial power to hospitals and other vital community services could be cut off. And suppose this line fell on a metal fence. Remember, don't play around with electricity. There are lives on the line.
There's a warm, friendly feeling through and through Chaminade, and it's telling you we're doing everything we can do. We'd like to be your prescription store, cosmetics, vitamins, and more. 'Cause Genevieve's is a real drugstore. You're in a real drugstore. Genevieve's is a real drugstore. Genevieve's.
The needs of a large family made dreams of medical school a questionable goal for Michael Patrizzi. Only a college scholarship could enable him to pursue his ambition to be a doctor. Adelphi University recognized Mike's potential and offered the financial help he sought. He's now in medical school and in a few years may be saving lives. Mike Patrizzi found the answer to his dream at Adelphi. The answer to your dream may be here too.
I have Fred Albino, Office of Engineering, the Supervisor of Electric Planning for Nassau County. And Fred, I know you have an exciting presentation to make to the MVP, Danny Mueller.
First, I'd like to say it's an excellent game. I really enjoyed it. I think everybody here enjoyed it too. Dan, on behalf of Lilco, I'd like to congratulate you on the fine game you played.
Thank you.
And here's an award. And here's the award which says, to the outstanding athlete. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Fred. Danny, come on in here for a second. Your teammates call you the Kaiser, and we all know who that's named after. A great player, Franz Beckenbauer. You also play that position of midfield. Today, you were the catalyst out on the field with your great distribution of the ball. What was it like out there?
It was pretty tough. It was hard work, but we pulled through in the end.
I know last night you guys had a big dinner, and you build a lot on emotion. Your teammates are screaming behind you now, and I know they were behind you. What was it like with St. John's the Baptist? I know that you guys stayed with your game plan the whole way. Did you do anything differently today that you didn't expect?
Well, we came out tough in the beginning, came out strong, and we scored early, and then we just held on.
Danny, quickly describe that goal you scored at the end. How did it happen?
Well, it came on a cross, and I chested it, and I hit it as soon as it fell down on the ground. And it went into the upper corner.
Danny, you're being quite modest. It was a great goal. Congratulations on your award. Fred, thank you for joining us, and thank Lilco.
Thank you.
Let's go now to Brother Gary, who's standing by with the winning coach, Ken Germano.
Congratulations, Ken. Congratulations to you and to the Chaminade team on a fine victory and a fine championship season. I know that you've been involved in soccer for many years as a player and a coach, but this being your first year at Chaminade. This has got to mean something special to you.
Sure does, Brother Gary. After being at Hofstra for 4 hard years, 4 losing seasons, and then coming over to Chaminade and taking a bunch of players that I had no idea about, and having the kids come together. I'm a new coach. It's a new system. They've got to adjust to me in a short time, and the great thing was that we got better and better as each game progressed, and we've just progressed until today. All the credit goes to the kids. I just wanted it for the kids.
Well, I think that you've inspired them as a coach, and they certainly came together as a team. I don't think you could ask anything more from them than that. But I do have one more question to ask you. What are you going to do for an encore?
I think we've got to go and beat the city champion now, and I don't know what I'm going to do to top the Roses, but we're going to try our best.
Well, I know Tommy Buchlas and I will be right behind you because now you're representing us, so go get them.
I feel great doing that, and thanks, Brother Gary. Thanks very much.
All right, back to Bob.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back with a few more words when we return after this. You're watching the Long Island Sports Network.
Here's a word to the wise about kite and model airplane flying. Pick an open field, well away from power lines. Those little metal control wires on a model airplane, or even a damp kite string, could conduct high-voltage electricity right down to you, with tragic results. If a kite should tangle a power line, don't try to retrieve it. Believe me, it's not worth it. Treat electricity with respect. Even Ben Franklin stayed away from power lines.
Come into Genovese and you'll know you're in a real drugstore.
There's a warm, friendly feeling through and through. Genovese. And it's telling you we're doing everything we can do. We'd like to be your prescription store. Cosmetics, vitamins, and more. 'Cause Genovese is a real drugstore. You're in a real drugstore. Genovese.
You're back at C.J. Donnelly Field here, an excited crowd on hand for this championship game, Brother Gary. It was certainly an exciting game, wasn't it?
It was an exciting game, and when Chaminade came out and scored within 3 minutes, I didn't think that that goal was going to stand up, but it certainly did.
It certainly did. It was a great game, a rookie coach winning it. But congratulations has to go to St. John's as well. They had a great season. They have a great coach, and I'm sure they'll be back again next year.
Oh, I'm sure they will. You see that Dan Mueller, the MVP, he's got another year here. We have to face him again next year.
Just looking quickly at the stats, St. John's outshot Chaminade 12-8. Chaminade had more fouls by 4. Corner kicks were close, but St. John's had 7. They weren't able to capitalize on their corner kicks. That was a big part of the game. And of course, St. John's had 7 saves, but Chaminade only had to make 3.
That's right. Chaminade pressured them into playing Chaminade's type of game, and it worked for Chaminade. It worked for Chaminade all season, and now I hope it works for them when they go in for the city championships.
Okay, for Brother Gary Gaynor, I'm Bob Pizzamenti, sitting in for Barry Lander, saying thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time on the Long Island Sports Network. Just a reminder, you'll be seeing more soccer playoffs this month as the LISN covers Nassau County A and B Boys Finals, the Suffolk County Boys and Girls Championships, the Long Island Boys and Girls Championships, and some of the state finals action. Check your local cable system's directory or listings for exact date and times. Our sponsors for today's game have been St. John's University, the Long Island Lighting Company, Adelphi University, and Genovese Drugstores. You've been watching the Long Island Sports Network, bringing you the best in local sports coverage.
To spoil it just because of past experiences.
True.
Put the past experience behind you, and he's trying to do the same, and see what develops. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot for calling.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye. This is Dr. Ruth Westheimer, and right after me comes Roberta Altman on Key Concerns, and she's going to talk about the gift of life. organ transplants and donations today. And remember to listen to Bruce Bradley tomorrow morning. When you wake up, keep your radio set right where it is at 97 WYNY FM radio. And listen to me again next week, right after Dick Clark's National Music Survey from 7 to 10 Sunday night. Good night, and for those of you who do have sexual activity with contraception, do have good sex. Good night.
The views expressed on this show are those of Dr. Ruth Westheimer, a recognized expert in the field of human sexuality.